Premier League / Football League video cast.
Yeah.
Well, one of the games is a Football League match, but
It's so important we just couldn't leave it off.
It's so important, and it's by far the biggest game of the weekend, apart from maybe Man City Arsenal. But Borough, Brighton, it's absolutely neck and neck at the top of the table, and it's a huge. It's like a playoff final, but
in a regular season.
In a regular season, how odd.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look at this. Middlesbrough have been made 6-5 favourites for this game. Somewhat surprising, actually. Even though Middlesbrough are unbeaten in 9 games, you think, well, that makes sense that they're going to be favourites for this game.
Yeah.
They're up against a Brighton team that are unbeaten in 13. Unbelievable.
Should have lost the derby.
They should have lost the derby, but last minute James Wilson goal.
Such a terrible goal that was.
Well, sorry, mate.
Terrible side.
So both of these teams locked on 88 points. Middlesbrough are only ahead and in the automatic playoff, automatic promotion places via their better goal difference by 2 goals. So 13-5 on a Brighton win was actually really tempting because these are just 2 teams that are so well matched. It's the toss of a coin, really, isn't it? So I'm actually staying away from the full-time result because it's just such a hard match to call.
Huge game and anything could happen.
Absolutely anything can happen. But I do think that when you look at the stats here, that the over-under market is the place to be. 3-4 best price here for under 2.5 goals. This match has taken place plenty of times in the Championship in recent history, and the last 4 times there's only been 4 goals scored. So there's only been 4 goals scored in 360 minutes. That's unbelievable. So
quick math.
So you have to assume that goals will be at a premium. Add to that the fact that Middlesbrough kept 4 clean sheets in the last 5 games at home and have conceded just once in that sequence. Even though Brighton are scoring for fun at the moment, I think heading to the Riverside, they're not going to be expected to score too many. Middlesbrough don't need to win the game to get promoted in this game. Remember, a draw will see them home and dry into the Premier League. So they can rely on their resolute defence. So under 2.5 goals here in the Championship, Middlesbrough versus Brighton, Saturday 12:30. Make sure you watch it. It's going to be an absolutely riveting game.
It's going to be crazy.
3-4 there, best price, under 2.5 goals.
That's all right. 3-4. You expect bigger than that. Middlesbrough are going to be playing for the draw, I reckon. Well, they will be.
Yeah,
surely. Brighton are going to be attacking, but unless they get an early goal, it's going to be a 1-0.
No goals, mate.
Or a 0-0.
No goals.
No goals at all. That would be an anticlimax. Hopefully it's not 0-0. Well, I kind of hope.
Well, I hope it is.
Yeah. Next up, Norwich versus Man United. Absolutely huge game for Man United. They have to win. Norwich, obviously, nothing's been said about Norwich this season, and no one cares.
Yeah, I remember in one of our previous Premier League videocasts that you'd actually forgotten that Norwich were actually in the Premier League.
I always forget. I always think, why is there a Championship team playing Man United on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a difficult match here. Norwich need the win, don't they? They absolutely need to start winning games because they're going to get cut adrift a little bit by the improving.
They're in huge trouble.
North-east sides, both Newcastle and Sunderland are starting to pick up some points, and Norwich are getting cut adrift a little bit. But the bookies don't really give them much chance here up against Man United. Man United are best price 17-20 to win this game. Of course, they have already won in this fixture. They've actually beaten Man United already this season at Old Trafford. A 2-1 win. 15-4 is available here if you fancy them to get an unexpected double over Manchester United. I personally don't think they will. I think backing Man United to win here at 17-20 is actually a pretty decent price. They've got an air of revenge about them, heading back to Carrow Road after the loss at Old Trafford. And if they win their game in hand, they'll just be a point behind the Champions League places, which currently Man City have, because of course they're playing the early game, so they'll be putting pressure on Man City that play on the Sunday. Norwich come into this game with a horrible record of 12 losses in the last 16 matches. They've just not been able to create any kind of rhythm with their points total towards the end of the season. They were kind of travelling along at the start of the season, and winter hit, and the cold hard winter hits
Winter is coming.
Anglia hard apparently.
Norwich.
But there is a few little worries about this bet in that Man United are just incredibly wasteful at the moment. They create so many chances. They've got so many creative players, but at the moment, for whatever reason, they haven't got a player that can get put for on goal and you'll think, yes, he'll score.
Yeah.
I even think that about someone like Martial, who's a really good player, but he's only scored 9 goals this season in the Premier League this season. He's still not quite a out-and-out finisher. He is young. Like Rashford is young. Rooney hasn't scored a goal in a long, long time.
Rooney, jeez, oh my, if I go.
But they do know how to grind out results.
Yeah.
They've lost just one of the last 10 matches in the Premier League. They've got a huge prize upon them if they keep on winning. And I could just see them adding to their 6 away wins already this season at Carrow Road. As always, a small dabble into the anytime goal scorer market. Chris Smalling is always a threat at set pieces. He hit the post against Leicester on the weekend.
Yeah.
And he's the best price here, 14-1, using easyodds.com.
That's pretty good.
Making sure that you make use of the odds comparison service. Worst price, 9-1. That's a huge difference. Yet again, highlighting why you should use easyodds.com. So yeah, that's a little dabble into the anytime scorer market here. But my best bet is Man United to win at 17-20 against a Norwich team that just can't seem to win again.
I think 17-20 is pretty good. They both got something to play for. So it's not just a good side against Norwich.
Yeah.
It's actually United who need to win.
Absolutely.
I think they'll probably win 1-0. Fellaini header.
Like
that. Next up, we've got 2 sides. One of them has won the league, and they're called Leicester City, and one of them is called Everton, and they've got nothing to play for, really. And neither team does that, in fact. And Leicester are probably just going to throw on a load of hungover people. Bloody Morgan's just been down in Jaeger bombs ever since they found out that he won. He's sliding around the kitchen floor.
Residing in a Spoons near you.
Yeah. Buying rounds of Jaeger bombs for everyone. See that? Everyone hear about that? He bought a round of Jaeger bombs for everyone. How weird is that?
A £200 round.
I'd expect that of Jamie Vardy. But
Yeah.
not Wes Morgan.
I thought Vardy was where the party was at, but it's Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on to the betting for this game. 21-20 best price for Leicester to win this game. Yet again, Leicester, even though they've just proven that they're the Premier League champions, yet again they're at home and they're odds against.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand it, Jake. I don't understand how you can be top of the league by quite a long way up against some really good teams like Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, even West Ham,
Chelsea,
and they're so far ahead, and they're still not really fancied by the bookmakers. 21-20. Imagine if it was a Man City team that have absolutely blasted the Premier League.
It is insane.
And they were going into the last game of the season at home up against an Everton team, and they were 21-20. You would snap their arm off, wouldn't you? And people have been doing so all season, and the bookies keep on paying out. So happy days for the punters. However, I think the best bet here is to back Jamie Vardy. He's going to be absolutely chomping at the bit after he's missed 2 matches through suspension. He's back for this match against Everton. He's already scored 22 goals this season in the Premier League, third top scorer in the whole league. He's the best price, 11-10 here, just to net up against Everton, team that let in 3 goals in the reverse fixture. They lost 3-2 to Leicester at Goodison Park. So Leicester already know that they can get the better of Everton's defence. 12 of his 22 goals this season have come at the King Power Stadium. He loves playing at home for Leicester. And Everton are just struggling to keep clean sheets as it is. So they're up against a Leicester team that, of course, thumped Swansea 4-0 at home last time out at the King Power. It's going to be a jubilant atmosphere. There'll be some party football. And I fancy Vardy to net at 11-10.
Yeah, I really think Leicester are going to win this because they've been playing without fear all season, basically, because they're basically thinking, well, anything is a bonus that's not relegation. So
absolutely, yeah.
So they've got no pressure, and now they really have no pressure. So they can
really
just do
no
whatever
pressure.
they want. I think this could be. I think this could be quite a big win for Leicester.
Yeah, I do think there's a slight worry about Leicester's team as a whole in that they're missing Danny Dreamwater. I think Vardy is obviously a huge miss for them, and when he wasn't playing, they played Uloja, and their style of play changed a little bit. But even then, you saw that, specifically in that Swansea game, they actually picked up their biggest win of the whole season, and that was without Vardy. But Drinkwater is the person that makes stuff happen for them. He just keeps that ball ticking. And it'll be interesting to see what happens to Leicester without him. Someone like Andy King or Matty James will come in.
Yeah.
They're decent players, but Danny Drinkwater is kind of the fulcrum of that team.
What do you think will happen next season with Leicester?
Well, Ranieri has already come out and said that their target for next season is a top 10 finish, which is fair, to be honest, with the squad they've got.
Yeah.
I kind of just see them doing better than what people would think they would do, but they'll probably... I can't see them getting out the group stage in the Champions League, personally. They're going to get a tough draw because they haven't got a very good... What's the word? Coefficiency level at that level.
Yeah.
So they'll get a tough draw, and I don't really see them doing that well in the Champions League. But I think that they'll do okay, like top 10 finish. And the Leicester fans won't be disappointed with that because this is kind of a once in a lifetime season.
Do you think like Kante and Vardy and
I think
Morgan.
You might see quite a few people come and go. Kante in particular seems to be the player that everyone wants. Arsenal in particular seem to be.
I read something about how when he goes off to the Euros, everyone will be in his ear like, "Come to Arsenal, come to our boss wants you" and stuff. And they'll be like, "Okay, yeah, 200,000 a week."
That's my tip there. 11 to 10, Jamie Vardy anytime.
Cool. Next up, we got the second biggest game of the weekend after Borough Brighton. Man City v Arsenal. Absolutely huge game for both sides. Well, not as big for Arsenal. I think they only need a draw. They need one more win to guarantee top four, don't they?
Yeah.
And they've got to play Villa in their last game of the season, so that's just... They might as well just give them the points. And then City need to win. They actually need to win, don't they? Because if they don't win, if Arsenal get anything out of the game, United... It's in United's hands, right? So if they can win, if United win all their three games, the next three games,
because they've got the extra game,
they get extra West Ham. And if Man City lose to Arsenal, if West Ham win their last three games, they get top four. It's a lot closer than the points.
There's a lot riding on this game, even though the Premier League title is gone. There's still the Champions League spots up for grabs. And of course, talking of the Champions League to Man City fans won't get them too excited because they just watched their team be pretty barren in both the semi-final legs against Real Madrid. Really disappointing. I felt actually Man City didn't even get a shot on target at the Bernabeu. Graham Souness, even on Sky Sports, said that even if Man City had won the Champions League, he would see this as being a poor season for Man City. He thinks that the squad that they've got, those players should be given a lot more than what they currently are. And
that's a mental thing to say, though. Obviously, it would have been a poor season according to playing, but winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that was a poor season, but
that's Graham Souness. He's a strong-willed man. Moving on to this game, 11-8 favourites Man City to win this game, and I actually think that's a little bit surprising. Granted, they're at home and they're normally very good at the Etihad, but I just feel that Arsenal have been overpriced here. You can actually get them almost around 3-1. Which I think is a decent price for an Arsenal team that haven't had to play any European football in midweek because they're already out. So they've had all week to prepare for it. They've had no flights or long haul schedules playing in Spain and then going back to blah blah blah. They won this fixture 2-0 last season as well, so they've got recent history on their side. And actually playing away from the Emirates Stadium, I think, will actually help Arsenal because there's a bit of a toxic atmosphere there at the moment with the Wenger out kind of stuff going on at the moment. I don't think that really helps them. I think playing away from home, the fans that are travelling to Manchester aren't going to be too interested in the Wenger out stuff. They're just going to be there to support what will be a difficult task, beating Man City. 6-5 here, Arsenal draw no bet is actually a pretty decent price, I think. They've only lost 3 of the last 15 away games, and they've kept 5 clean sheets in the last 7 games, Arsenal. So even though there's plenty of Arsenal out kind of stuff at the moment, recently in that block of 7 games, that's not bad at all, is it? And Man City have got plenty of players who can turn a game in their favour, but they've just proved inconsistent enough to just make me think that Arsenal are actually a pretty good price here. 6-5, so you'll get a 65 winning bet if Arsenal win, or get your stake back if they draw. So your only real loss here is if Man City win, and having seen them play recently against Real Madrid, I would say I'm not entirely convinced that they can beat it.
They need to get a shot on
Arsenal
target
team.
first.
They need to get a shot on target, and of course, Company is out now as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel that 6-5 on Arsenal draw no bet is a much better bet than backing Man City to beat an Arsenal team that are actually doing all right. 11-8 on Man City to win, or 6-5 with Arsenal draw no bet. I think most fans would probably take the Arsenal draw no bet.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, another dabble into the anytime goal scorer market here, and it's that man Samir Nasri,
The grey-haired legend.
the grey-haired legend. Yeah, he of course is formerly a Arsenal legend, and they don't think he's a legend anymore. So I'm imagining that he's going to get quite a bit of abuse. I can see him starting the game because he didn't play in the match at the Bernabeu, so he's fresh. And he'll be desperate to put one over Arsenal. 5-1 here, best price for a Samir Nasri goal, which isn't bad at all. You can either get 14-5, which is an okay price, or you can get 5-1, which is the best price, and that's why we use easyodds.com. So those are my four tips, Jake, including the massive championship game. Middlesbrough beat Brighton under 2.5 goals, 3-4. Man United to beat Norwich 17-20. Jamie Vardy goal 11-10, and Arsenal drawn a bet at 6-5.
They sound great. That sounds like a great Akimi for me.
Cheers,
Another
mate.
one.
Yeah, well, talking of accumulators, so we talk about our big win.
Just
in the
quickly,
week?
yeah.
We got a 287-1 winner in midweek.
Bit dubious.
It's a little bit dubious, but if you were betting with Sky Bet, it's not dubious at all. It's a winner.
You'd be loving it. Loving life.
We were really, really happy with that. Hopefully, you were following us on Twitter to be in on that. There was about an hour window to get on it, and there's quite a few people that were tweeting us saying thanks very much for the winnings, and they're going to take us out for a holiday, which will be good.
That's fine.
Looking forward to that. Might need to put that in with our CEO. But yes, so thanks for letting us know how the accumulators went for you. And make sure that you download the app for the weekend bets and subscribe to the YouTube channel by pressing the button just above Jake's head right about there. So thanks very much for watching. My name's Ross Casey and this is Jake Johns.
Bye.
Real quick.